All right, one of the best ways to warm up your hamstrings and your glutes and make sure that your core is nice and stable as you're doing legitimate lifting motions is just to do some body weight Romanian deadlifts. Now, when I'm doing these to warm up, I like to exaggerate a few things in the form. First off, I want to make sure that my feet have good arches in them, so I'm going to try to curl my toes, make sure my feet are both pointed forward. I don't have one facing outward or both of them outward. Have them both facing forward, curling my toes, making sure I have good arches on my feet. Then also, you can wiggle your knees in and out and then hold it out. And that's going to make sure that your glutes and the deep hip muscles are activated to make sure that your knees aren't going to cave in, that the muscles deep in your hips are going to keep your hips nice and externally rotated. So now that I got my toes curled, I got my knees out, I want to core press. Just like when we're doing any heavy lift, we want to do that core press. Make sure our abs are nice and tight. Take a nice little deep breath, activate my core. Then I'm just going to hinge at my hips, keeping my knees slightly bent. I'm just moving at my hips. I'll do it from the side so you can see my low back. Sometimes what we will tend to do when we haven't warmed up yet is when we go down, we're fine, our back's nice and straight, but then when we come up, we end up using our low back and curling our low back backwards before we engage our hips and hamstrings. So that's why we want to keep our core activated as we go down. Then when we come up, we're just using our hamstrings and our glutes. I like to do 10 of these when I warm up. If you're doing body weight and you don't feel like it's warming you up well enough, you can get some dumbbells and have those go down as well as you're doing your Romanian deadlifts.